Hey, what's up, everybody? So in this weekly Outlook video, I wanted to give you a preview. You know, in the past few ones, I've been showing our accelerator calls. And in this one, I'm going to do that. And we're using some really advanced strategies here, so you might not know some of the terminology in this institutional trading and the way we're doing, along with my own strategies that I teach in the academy. And the level of this group is insane. So if you don't know what it is exactly we're talking about, then you know it's all right. But we're leading up to the election. We're making a game plan, and then we're also looking at what the banks are doing at the same time. And this is just a sample of the level of traders, of profitability strategies that we're using in terms of being funded and taking everything to the next level. So I just want to give you a taste of it and preface it if you're not sure what we're talking about, because this is stuff we're sharing in our chat room, as well as on our live training calls with me and some of the other guys in the group. So it's a long video, so I'll probably cut some of it short, but I wanted to give you a sample of what it is we're looking at as we go into this week. It's going to be a crazy week, so enjoy the video. Peace. Yo, what's up, fellas?
How's it going, Clay?
How's it going? What's up, Jeff?
Hey, how are you, man? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I didn't want to miss it.
Oh, right. Well, hey, welcome to the group, man. I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're here. And make sure, if you haven't already, to book. I haven't looked at my calendar, to book a call with me, and we'll go ahead and get you underway, bro. Will
do. Yeah, my question about that was, it's a week from sign up, right? Like, give it a week, so I'll schedule it a week out from basically now.
Yeah. That's fine. It gives you enough time to kind of go over everything and kind of get acquainted with the group. And you know, any questions you might have, then you can definitely hit me up with them. And yeah, I mean, like I was just looking at everything and thinking on the drive over here, man. I mean, this is going to be like one of the I know there's so much hype around this election, but between this election going on, like the Brexit stuff, or not Brexit, the lockdowns in UK.
The lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, this could be one of the biggest weeks in a long time. I mean, so.
Do you know that's why I signed up early?
What's that?
You know, I was going to sign up. I think last week somebody says they'll wait until after all this.
Hey, what's up, traders? Hope you like this video. Doing a $100 giveaway for everybody that likes, comments, and is subscribed to our channel. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll be entered in the drawing. Enjoy the video.
Absolutely. I mean, I took a short on Friday, and I should have kind of, in a way, like it started moving back up because for the on the monthly, because it was the last day of the month and it needed to create a bottom wick. But I just couldn't get myself to be long it, because I thought this lockdown is going to happen. Because when I was looking at the numbers and I was doing the exponential calculations, I thought it's only a matter of time before they do a lockdown. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you called it on that one, man. And well, it's like, you were short. You didn't happen to hold over the weekend, did you?
No, because it sort of retraced and it took me out. And I didn't want to take a second go at it. It was past my trading time. I thought, forget it. We'll attack it next week.
Yeah. So like in GJ, we were trading it. I shared it last week, and you know that it really did make out that bearish pennant formation that I shared about. And then of course Johnny also was trading it too and had a pretty similar analysis. Let me share my screen here. And so I'm thinking, what I've been thinking about though is dollar pairs that I can trade. Everything's going to be like the market, like I don't think you're going to be able to find something that's not affected by everything, by the volatility next week. You know, the market, like in one way or another, the election is going to pretty much affect things across the board. I don't know, like, I don't know what you could be, from everything from like Aussie to soybeans or whatever, like in one way or the other, it's going to, like, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and you know, leading up to, who knows how long the indecision around the election is going to last, because they kind of framed it up to be that way. So this was that bearish pennant that I was talking about on Sunday, that really kind of played itself out really nicely. And if you guys remember, just from like standard technical analysis, if you read, I'd recommend you buy one too. And this is what I did from my mentors, Dale and Blake, who you guys are watching now. Dale talks about like that. You can get like technical analysis for stock charting. It's like a book from the like 80s or early 90s, and it's like a textbook. And like in those patterns, you know, it talks about like standard technical analysis. Blake refers to it a lot. I'll find the link. I'll try to find the link on Amazon. If you do, I mean, it's a great read. It's more like just kind of a reference book. And so in that, you know, it never works out exactly, you know, that easily, unfortunately. But when we tie in everything else that we're learning and that we're doing, and especially these new institutional strategies that I think we're all, pretty much everybody in this group now starting to employ, then you can really start to kind of get a really good picture for what's going on in the market. So like a textbook bearish pennant or bullish pennant or bull flag, bear flag, like when you have like a straight up breakout or breakdown like this, typically you'll have the length of the breakdown will equal the size of the flagpole, right? So it's obviously never exact, but it sure is framing up pretty well right now. And one thing about the pound, I will say, I don't know if Yasser would agree with me in this, for it being as volatile as it is, there are some certain levels that it always seems to respect, despite how, like, you know, volatile it might seem or out of control. And for me, I'd said this on my Instagram story on the way over here, like when we get these huge whipsaw moves, if you have the blueprint laid out in your charting, like especially in this type of environment, you might be surprised and shocked by how these levels, as crazy as it seems, still get respected, right? So, and for me, it's always been with the pound, it seems like this 78.6 level is really, really, you know, not always, there's no such thing as always in trading, but, you know, funny coincidence here, right? So we have this bearish pennant, and then we have the formation of it, and then the breakdown, which would be like the completion of this pattern. And now tie in everything else that we're using and learning. Daniel might be able to get in with me on this one, about, you know, different institutional styles and ways of looking at the market. This would look like, correct me if I'm wrong, imbalance down here, right? What do you guys think? Are you guys, what do you think, Daniel?
Where was it at? Where were you pointing?
These candles right here being an imbalance in the market, which could be a potential target following this breakdown.
Yeah, I was just looking at GJ right now, and there's there's actually 3 of them down there. So one is at, they're on the daily and 4-hour that I found, but one is at 129 even. And then there's another one at like 132, like 130.2, and then another one at 132.7, and they all have imbalance. So I wouldn't be surprised if, so the first one is at 129 even. And keep in mind, like when I see these at even numbers, it's pretty much like a no-brainer, because we know that the banks like to,
right here,
it's easy for them to, I can share my screen if you want and just show you what I'm seeing. Yeah.
And just my point, just to finish what I was saying, like all these different components adding up, and this is the way I'm starting to look at and approach, like using these different ways of imbalances and looking at the market and finding targets, along with all the technical analysis and strategies that make sense to me. And the same way, I think that's the way you guys should definitely approach it as well. as like another tool in the toolkit. So yeah, but yeah, check this out. I'll share my screen, and I just think that all these factors lining up here could be, I'd say we get probably a massive, I wouldn't be surprised, 100 pip gap to start the session off. Let me get my screen share. There you go, dude. You should be good.
Cool. Let me pull that up, and I'll zip over it real quick.
I think a lot of us, I know DJ is Yasser's bread and butter. I've definitely, it's on my list. I think there's a lot of people in the group who are really focusing on the pound yen. So,
yeah, as soon as I heard UK going into lockdown, this was the first pair that came into my mind. As you know, the yen is safe haven, and with the decrease in power of the sterling, it makes real good sense that we would start to see the yen take over and pull it down. And what we have right here would be a open IT candle on the 4-hour chart with a good chunk of imbalance and like pure imbalance right here. So you don't really have anything on the left side or the right side. There's no wicks coming down. And the reason why the market doesn't like these imbalances is it runs on, I mean, per se, who really knows, but supposedly an algorithm that likes to have buy and sell orders at all prices. So this right here drives the system crazy. So it really wants to fix that. And then we come down to, there's another imbalance right here. I guess you could say that this IT candle's true spot would be right here, which would be about, you know, $1.30 even. I like to place it right at the top of the wick though. This one was actually found on the daily. So I go on multiple time frames to find them. You'll see this big candle right here. So really, in order for them to close it, they just have to get it about to there. But there is an imbalance down here, and then they have another one down here. So I could see them, you know, coming down to 129.5 and maybe wicking to fill the imbalance and to close that order out. But it really depends on some of the fundamental aspects. And then not only that, but I was thinking a lot too, you know, what if they just make up fundamental stuff so that they can move the market where they want it to go? So, and then also when you look above, there's a huge gap of imbalance here. And if we go to the 4-hour, you'll see these right here are pretty obvious. Like when you have a drop and then like a segmented opposite direction candle and a drop continued, this is pretty much like a no-brainer right here. So I would mark this right at the wick so that I know when they start to get close to this. And once again, you can see this is about at 139.5. So the bank operates a lot on even numbers. When they leave a position open, it's easy for them to like balance their books and calculate things out when it's even. And when you look at these things, you'll start to see them everywhere. So down here, if we go to higher time frame, let's check like the weekly real fast. So, you know, you could even argue that they still have a candle open down here, and if you were to mark it up towards the top, it'd be right around the same range as this other one here on the lower time frame. So, you know, they could get two birds with one stone by coming down here. So I could see that being a very feasible thing. And then it looks like they've got some imbalance up here at the top too, and most likely an open candle or open order on a smaller time frame. So what I have been doing lately is just breaking it down from the weekly, sometimes the monthly, just to get a real big view, and all the way down to the 1 hour, and looking for these spots where it's clear as day that the market hasn't had you know, two-way dealing going on. And another good thing to know too is not only do the market makers want to take your money by hitting your liquidity, but they also want to create a price where they can do buys and sells. So that's another reason why they'll push prices to get it to where the orders are at, you know. But that's what I've been looking at, and I'm going to get some more charts done for myself and everyone here before market open. I was just up super late working on other stuff. So
Dude, amazing analysis, bro. Good job. Good job.
yeah, thank you.
On the opposite side of that spectrum, if we're talking about the pound, you know, anybody else looking at euro pound? Because like for me, I think a lot of the dollar pairs are kind of man, you know, it's gonna be hard to find out where they're going to go. But I was just looking at euro pound and potentially what could happen when the market opens. And so euro's on lockdown. I don't know if this is going to hit the pound harder when it opens, or euro as well, or like, you know, France. I guess Spain is now too. But you know, we could see a good retracement move back up into these areas, or maybe even higher, which would kind of put us somewhere around the top of this wick, right? So you know, it's going to be there could be some good opportunities depending on if we open below euro pound or above it. And then another pair, which I was trading obviously a lot last week that you guys know, is Aussie New Zealand, right? So we're in this huge, and Daniel and I were talking about this like Thursday or something. You know, we're trading in this kind of flag. We have a bit of a false breakdown here, which I think you see this a lot in these patterns, because we get a big fake move to the downside here before we do move upwards. And, you know, in terms of imbalances in the market, we have a nice one right here, which we're pretty much at or nearly retested Friday. So Aussie New Zealand could be an opportunity. Of course, this whole move lower was in direct correlation with stocks for the most part. So despite them both being risk on assets, you know, we get one kind of potential move in the market, or say Joe Biden's elected, you know, we could get a move higher. So, you know, I think there's a lot of, I've heard two things that, you know, whether if Biden gets elected, I've heard the case that the market is going to like tank super hard because, you know, the tax cuts, and if he's hiking the taxes, excuse me, which would cause a lot of companies and businesses to leave the U.S., which would drive the market lower. But the other side of that argument is that, you know, if he does get elected, the market's going to rally a lot, because we pretty much know what that his and their like economic plan is going to be. It's just going to be you know, stimulus, probably just free for all. So I mean, most likely. So there's two scenarios there, but either way, if we see the slightest bit of Aussie strength, or, you know, in terms of this candle getting closed out here, which looks like it's already happened. So we're, you know, I think really positioned to make a move higher. And of course, the risk to reward here is pretty legit. You know, if you're going to target this area, and you know, you're wrong if you're below here, that's for sure. So yeah, the Aussie, New Zealand, and GJ and Euro Pound were some of the big pairs I was looking at for, you know, kind of preparing moving forward. Let's see, does anybody else have any charts that they're working on, or anything they'd like to share? Steven, you still on the call?
Yeah, I have some stuff charted out.
Okay, yeah, man, we'd love to see it. What do you think? So from what you've seen, if like what's going to happen with the market, say if Biden gets elected, rally in equities? Lower.
I have, let's see here. I have some, damn it. I have some different kind of views. Like I have things, I have different things mapped out. I think that if Biden gets elected, I feel like, you know, the market, the equities market is definitely going to tank. just because the capital gains tax is going to be like 36%, I believe is what he wanted to go with. So people are going to be scared and they're going to want to take their money out of the market before it gets hammered. Let me share this. So here's the euro US dollar is something that I charted out. I feel like, you know, we're going to get a small bounce here. I have, you know, some opposing trades mapped out. Let me get my mouse. This hand thing ain't working. I'll be right back. Shut up.
Oh my God.
I've got a house full of dogs, so my fiance owns a doggy daycare, so we live the brand.
That's cool.
So I feel like we'll get a nice little bounce here. I'm gonna put a trade in here. I think we've already kind of gotten the bounce, but I have everything marked off, and then I'm gonna put a trade in here, and I think we're gonna go a little lower. I have the dollar, the US dollar index. I feel like everything is pushing. It's kind of like going to be ranging, but I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like especially if Biden wins, we're going to get a plummet on the dollar. I feel like we're going to drop lower here, and we got a nice little area of resistance. It kind of broke through. I feel like it's going to drop here. Maybe it could push higher, but then we have this zone as well that it breaks through. If it goes through both of these, then we're going to have some massive dollar strength. And the euro, I had charted out. The euro is actually in a massive zone as well. It's broken down through this, but it's kind of still in this zone. If we break through here, you've got a large area. I feel like this is going to be super weak for the euro as well. I have the euro and the pound mapped out as well. This was what I had put on the VIP or the elite chat on Facebook. We've got this breakdown, you know, from this area of support, and we've come into this zone right here. I feel like this is a false breakdown, and especially with both are in lockdown, but I just feel like this is, you know, we're coming into a nice little zone here, and it's going to get a bounce up from here. This could, you know, blow right through here. I've kind of been going counter trend, looking for market reversals, and lately that's not really been working out for me. Typically I've done well with timing them, but I think this is kind of a ballsy trade right here. I'm sure I'll get a little bounce from it, but I don't know about this massive reversal. This is kind of high hopes, you know, because we're bouncing off this trend line. There's just a lot of confluence that it could, you know, bounce up, but this is definitely high hopes right here. I can't remember what else I had mapped out. I think I'm open a couple of trades as well. Let me pull this up real quick. Australian dollar CAD. I'm in this trade on my challenge, but I don't have it mapped off on Oanda, so I know I'm in something else too. I know I was long another trade too, but I didn't actually finish all my charting yesterday. I still have a good bit to do. But I really don't know what else I had charted out. But that's about it for my bias. I really am on some hoping for catching some, you know, market timing, some reversals, some counter trend stuff. But if that doesn't work out, I'm just gonna, for the rest of my challenge, I'm gonna ride trend just follow trend for the rest of the way. Because like I said, I haven't been really successful with any reversals lately since the New Zealand dollar reversal. I've really been not doing too good at calling them.
That was a great setup, though. That's a great trade.
Yeah.
Where are you at on your challenge? You have like 5
I have I'm at 5,000, but I have 18 days left. Like I said before, I've been taking some really ballsy, just not really sensical trades, just going against. I guess I've kind of thrown too much into my strategy, and I need to simplify it and get back to where I was, 2 weeks ago. I've been adding too much shit to it, and it's made it really difficult. Before, when I was just trading supply and demand, following trend on that, like I was, had 80% win ratio, and lately I've been throwing in some shit that I haven't really ever implemented before, trying to, create a different strategy, I guess, for some reason. And I'm just going to go back with what I've tested and been successful with. To be honest with you, I think I should be able to finish it. Definitely, if I do what I've been doing and been successful at, I should be able to finish the challenge this week. I don't know what the hell. I was up 6,000, drew down all the way to 1,500, and I'm back up to 5,000. So I just need to, simplify things a little bit.
I mean, you're almost there. Like you're literally one trade away.
Oh yeah, definitely, for real.
Jiao, yeah. How you doing, man? How you doing, buddy? You got any setups?
Great, mate. I can share some. Let me just.
What's your game plan for the election this week? Where are you at in your?
What'd you say?
Where are you at on like? Have you started your challenge yet, or you?
No, not yet. I think I'm just let the election pass so I can start it after that.
Okay. Good call.
So I've got some pairs shaded out here. Got dollar yen. So what I'm expecting here on the weekly, I believe, Jamie pointed out last week that we got to this significant zone here. So I caught a few pips on a buy in this pair last week, but I closed it because I'm trying to keep with the FTMO system that I think they don't let you run trades over the weekend. So I closed them on Friday.
When you're doing the challenge though, you can hold the trades.
Oh, you can hold them over the weekend?
Yeah, during your challenge, you can. So just to.
Okay. So this is what I'm expecting. Just a little pullback to this open order. I get this done here, probably 1 hour. Yeah, right here. This I pointed this out as an institutional candle. So I'm expecting this to retrace back to here, and if it does, I'm gonna probably open a order here by limit. Then let me. I got a similar chart as Steven. I think, yeah, I think he got this institutional candle pointed it out on his chart. So that's what I'm looking for for a small retracement here, a pullback, and then push lower. We got here a nice imbalance too, and that's the target that I have, a long-term target.
I had
right
the same
here.
analysis on the EU too. I think that you're onto it, like both of you guys spot on.
I got this right here, but maybe like I don't know at this point what can happen, but you can actually go to around this zone here, but we'll see. Then I got some Jesus. So all my bias for euro pairs are bearish, still here on EJ to the downside, waiting for a nice retracement here, a pullback to this IT candle, probably get some sell limit right here. And we'll see how that pans out. 4 pound pairs, all my pairs are bearish because they are in lockdown right now, I believe. So pound weakness coming this week for sure. And let's see if I think I know, yeah, I missed this trade. I had a sell limit right here, but it didn't target, didn't get ticked in, so I didn't took the trade. Let's see if it goes back up a bit more, then I maybe get on a sell limit too here. GJ2, I was in the trade that you shared, and Johnny shared that too. On this one, still I got the target right here. Let's see if the pair retrace back a bit, but then I can maybe get a sell limit right here and maybe get a nice risk reward trade, 257 pips. Then I got this, I was in a GA trade, I think Daniel took it too. Was a nice one, but right now I don't know if we will get some Aussie strength to continue the pound just push lower, but we'll see. And I was in this UCAD trade too. I think it has more room to go above and close this open order that's been open for a long time now. Yeah, right here. So I think we'll get the UCAD nearly 134. So that's all I have.
Looks good, man. God, your charting is like gone beast mode. Dude, you've gotten so much better in the past like 3 months. Yeah, good job.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's a pretty good. It seems like we're all on the same page with what's going on. I guess as far as more risk, I don't see any reason for there to be anything but risk off this week. That's for sure. I mean, unless some sort of stimulus deal goes through, or man, who knows? So I don't know what to expect. That was a good call on GU. I'm glad you shared that because I didn't either. Share it, but yeah, I was just looking at it, and that was definitely on my list of like the pound pairs, because more than likely I think we're going to see dollar strength just because of all the indecision and risk off.
Yeah.
So if you guys took this trade signal I sent, I guess on Friday, and it was right this wick right here. If you all are using the fibs and you're using the pound, just look for this number, man. I'm telling you. And so you can see this is a pretty good trade. And what we're doing now is trading below this channel. And my guess would be that, following this, the announcement about the lockdowns, that we'll probably get quite a good gap, lower. And especially if we were to get past this level of support there, then we could go much lower, I would say. And of course, Daniel and I were talking about this move, this gap in the market down here, which is still looks to be an open order situation, imbalance in the market, whatever you want to call it. And so this could be a potential good target. I mean, who knows? It might close itself out in like a day or so too. But and then if we head lower here, we can do a trend line from here to here and here. And so now you can see there's quite the confluence there of things that are lining up, which would make perfect sense. And especially in terms of this, the imbalance in the market right there and lining up. If you can find the confluences in the market, it's like, finding the different clues to the puzzle. If you're looking for that great trade, look for the clues. And I think this could be a pretty good situation. or at least a good target. I don't know if we would bounce there or not. It's hard to say because of the election. If we didn't have an election coming up, I would say this would be an awesome buy right here. So we'll see if we're to respect what's going on. And yeah, like Jao pointed out too. Well, I guess that wasn't an imbalance. I was looking at that, but it looks like it would have gotten closed out. But hey, there's still a lot going on up here, right? This is a massive move. So man, if we could stick an entry down here for a long-term hold, knowing that, you know, someday this would be the target, man, the cable could be super profitable as well as GJ, if we play our cards right. And, you know, I think with the dollar pairs, it's usually on the weekly outlook videos, I'm just like straight all dollar pairs the whole time. I do like the bullishness of dollar CAD still. The fact that we've broken out of here and we've been on this support level there. False breakdown, which also really equals out to this area. So, and so I would be looking for us to break higher. You know, I don't see why the CAD would really start to rally, but you know, it's definitely possible. So, you know, we're still, you can see we're testing this resistance here. We have this big area to retest. In long term, with these formations, like, you know, and especially if we're looking at it in terms of the institutional type setup and the things we've been talking about and learning lately in the chat. Man, look at this. Daniel, wouldn't this be just a massive IT candle right here? That green one?
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. And it's got a ton of imbalance up there too. So they're definitely looking to balance that out. And not only that, but I believe long UCAD is giving positive interest yield. So that means the bank has that much more inclination to close that because they don't want to be holding a short and be losing money on their carry.
So in other words, you know, the cost of them to hold that trade's more significant.
Right.
And so they would be more inclined to go ahead and close, because what they're doing, and we're talking about these imbalances, is they're hedging these giant accounts. And so these are these big moves where there's buy orders and sell orders in at the same time. And then of course, like we've all been learning, they're looking to close them out and get their money back, right? But if they're getting a negative carry on those, in that situation, then they'd be more inclined to go ahead, which look, 78.6% retracement here, to go ahead and close us out before, as opposed to like going on some super, is this what you mean, Daniel? Going on some super long journey and then coming.
Yeah.
And
not only that, but I learned that the 786 is the optimal buy or sell price for their big clients too. And so what they would want to do before heading down is go back up and close that. And then all their big clients or their hedge fund managers can then buy a short position at what, you know, optimal price. And because you got to remember too, like, the banks want to keep their clients happy, and when people spend millions, billions, or trillions of dollars with them, whatever it is, they'll kind of bend over backwards to keep that business. So, crooked world that we live in.
For sure. Well, so I think UCAD, if we break above this level of resistance too, which I personally don't see any reason why we won't, I think it would be awesome if we got a pullback down here, which would be a great buying opportunity. And I think if I was gonna look for a dollar play to play in this election scenario, it would either be GU because of the a short GU because of the pound in the UK going on lockdown, or it would be dollar CAD CSD, or it'd be dollar CAD because this setup is just, this is a technical analysis, you know, perfection in my eyes. This would be the structure I would look to trade. And so if we can, because of all the reasons we listed, you know, this could be, and the current volatility in the market, dude, this could be, you know, it could have a 300-400 pip week. And, you know, who knows how this would affect oil too. So like, if Biden gets elected, I would say that, because he's talking about ending fracking and different other fossil fuel industries, that would be super, super bearish oil, right? So if that were to happen, this is just all hypothetical, but that would definitely hurt the oil prices. Then, you know, that would be extra reason for CAD weakness and a big rally there. So despite everything going on, man, there's a ton of opportunities, and isn't it like pretty exciting? We're like, it's gearing up and about to go into like battle this week and to watch everything going on. It's gonna be nuts. But like, you know what? Being in this position as traders and somebody that studies the markets, we can actually have a whole different viewpoint about what's going on. Daniel's like, yeah, well, they're gonna rig the election to close that IT candle on UCAD.
I wouldn't